This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Thursday, October 10th, and it is Ladies' Night. And the feeling's right? I'm not sure. Okay, so it's Stephanie and Tori. Jeff and Brandon have the evening off. So let's get started.
Thank God.
We talked about this a lot yesterday, but now Matt Lauer's accuser, Brooke Neville's, is putting him on blast. She calls his defense victim shaming. Matt denied he raped her at the 2014 Winter Olympics. He said their relationship was consensual, and he's done staying silent. So is Matt victim shaming? And when we really break down this case, it almost starts to make more sense when you really talk it out, because at the surface, I think a lot of people are saying, why did she wait so long and continue to engage with him? But now we know some things about the HR situation.
Right. Yeah, she tried to go to HR several times, and no one was really hearing her. And finally, when a new person came at NBC, they took one look at the HR report and fired him the next 24 hours. The main thing here is this. If the Me Too movement taught us anything, it's to obviously listen to victims of sexual assault, but also not jump too fast. And I think that was an important lesson of the Me Too movement, the Aziz Ansari's of us all, where we just jumped on board. I think maybe this seems more complicated, but rape isn't always a violent masked man in an alley.
Right.
It can be someone you're with. It could be your husband. It could be your partner. So it's murky, and I think we just have to wait for more details. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I think with this case, people were saying to us yesterday, you know, how can she be raped and like keep going back or keep working with him or keep being in that environment? And I think it's very easy for people that are not within that situation or have never experienced it for themselves to wrap their head around it. Sometimes you can be in relationships or situations where you're not always thinking clearly because maybe I don't like the word brainwash, but
there's power there.
Well, and there's a power dynamic as well, which people forget about too.
But I think it goes even deeper than that, because now you have someone who has reported a horrific incident to HR, and they have responded by doing nothing at all, which as a victim in trauma would probably re-traumatize you into thinking that, well, maybe this isn't as big of a deal
like, am I making
as I thought it was. Maybe I'm in the wrong and it's already happened, so I need to move forward with my life and my career. So it's so much bigger than that, and it's shameful that anyone in HR would have swept that under the rug for any reason, but it goes to show you just how powerful Matt Lauer was at that point. Yeah.
He was the king.
That's crazy. You can sodomize a coworker powerful and get away with it. That is scary. Well, we're going to move on. Even a megastar like Dolly Parton isn't immune to sexual harassment. She talks about it in the new issue of Elle magazine, but it didn't have the same impact. She says, I was always strong enough to walk away from it and not to have to fall under it. I was lucky that I was in a good country town. It's not like out there in the big world, like in California, where they chew you up and spit you out. So does Dolly have a point? And by her saying she was strong enough to walk away, is the implication that the people who have fallen victim weren't strong enough?
I think this comes down to Dolly's Constitution, and I don't mean the U.S. Constitution. Thanks so much. No, I just mean about some people are made to take things and move on and not get bothered by them, and some are incredibly sensitive and it'll crush you, and you'll always think about it. Dolly grew up very poor. She made everything she ever made herself. She seems to just have that kind of a constitution that, people talked about her boobs constantly. I mean, everybody talked about it, right? And she just kind of moved on and was happy about it. That comes from, I think, herself being strong within herself. That doesn't mean that if I'm not strong with myself, I'm not going to be affected, but I think that's a certain type of personality that isn't affected by it. But I don't think it means you're not strong if you are affected by it.
But also I think, obviously, when she's experienced these certain types of situations, she wasn't maybe in places where it is even harder or even more, I can't think of the right word here, but obviously she was saying in LA, you know, she's come from a very different situation in town and place where, you know, maybe she would have had a lot more support or the drama wasn't as intense as it is in LA, because in LA it's a whole different ball game, and if she'd experienced those things there, would she still be who she is today? I don't know.
I mean, well, no one knows, but I think when you have someone with the personality of Dolly Parton, she has made decisions for how she is going to present herself. She's made decisions about how she's going to live in this world. And for someone to make those types of decisions says that she's very grounded and rooted in herself. So I do think that on one side, I don't want to say that victims haven't been strong enough, but I think it takes a different type of strength to say, I'm going to be different in a society that's very conformist driven. So I think that might be the reason why she was kind of exempt from a lot of it too.
She's Dolly. She's just Dolly.
She's a strong woman.
We all have a little Dolly in us. Well, we have an update on Kevin Hart. Raquel, what's going on?
Well, Erica, police say reckless driving caused Kevin Hart's car to spin off the road. A report says driver Jared Black accelerated suddenly and lost control of the 1970 Plymouth Barracuda. The report also confirms Kevin left the scene while the driver and another passenger were trapped in the car. No one inside the car was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. All three of them were injured. Right now, Kevin is easing back into work on the new Jumanji sequel while still doing some physical therapy.
Still a miracle. Everyone survived. Thank God. The battle lines are drawn in Hollywood. The Twitter mob and powerful celebs have been trashing Ellen nonstop for being friends with former President George Bush. Remember, she even had to defend kindness on her show. Reese Witherspoon and Kristen Bell are Team Ellen, although Reese ended up deleting her supportive tweet. Jennifer Garner, Gwen Stefani, even Snooki support her too. Okay. But not everyone's on the Ellen train, including Mark Ruffalo and Susan Sarandon. They're basically saying, how dare she be friends with a, quote, war criminal. So are people overreacting, or do they really think Ellen shouldn't be friends with George Bush? Now, we've talked about this at length, and the original question was, can you be friends with someone who you don't agree with? Right. But can you be friends, or should she have defended him after being blasted for being friends with him, period? Or should she have just let this go?
I think she should have let this go, and I know I'm going to get blasted for this too, but there's a great quote by James Baldwin that reflected what you said. He says, "We can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist." And for a lot of gay LGBTQ, that was an opposing side that wanted a constitutional amendment to say you don't belong in humanity the way the others do. Now, the war criminal aspect is also, he sent men and women into war on a lie, and they died. So they don't get a chance to be buddy-buddy and disagree with him. So I get the flack. I hope that they can be rich together and enjoy together, but it's ignoring the fact that I think a generation of people really feel that this man committed a crime, and I think that should be addressed.
Yeah, because I feel like, so Tori's really strong sometimes in her opinions on, she won't even shop in certain places that have been affiliated to different causes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So if that was you and you met him, would you stand and talk to him? What would you have done?
No, so I totally agree that I would have sat in the Dallas football 50-yard thing. I wouldn't have then gone on my show and promoted the friendship. I think you made a statement by just sitting there. Do you think that she was promoting
the friendship, or do you think she was just standing up kind of for like the fact that she had loads of messages?
I think she was just standing up, and I disagree with this with the promotion of that, because you're only going to make people feel worse about it.
Yeah, I think, you know, when I first was posed with the question, can you be friends with someone who thinks differently, I absolutely believe you can. But much to that James Baldwin quote, yes, if it's in your heart and your soul to oppress me as a person because you think that I'm less than, then no, we can't be friends, because I can't trust you for anything. But I think when it comes down to it, Ellen has been on the spot for so many things, and she hasn't decided to have a monologue about it. But I think it's interesting that she's been very vocal about the idea of leaving that show, because I think that a lot of this has to do with that. She can't be like, there's this, it's almost like a false prophet type thing. She's saying, this isn't truly who I am, but you're making me be this because of this happy-go-lucky show.
I mean, that was the whole dancing thing, remember? She wanted to give up the dancing because she's like, how many times am I going to dance for you? And everyone would come on the street and be like, where's the dancing? Dance for me. She's like, I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I've evolved.
Yeah,
something
exactly.
Else. Yeah.
Well, DBL is live, and coming up, another day, another drama for the Orange County Housewives. Did one of the women actually set up her friend on a blind date with a dude who's already taken? Way harsh. That's in Reality Roundup. And Sarah Ferguson reveals the work she's had done on her face. So we're guessing which other celebs have gone under the knife too when we come back.
write down your tiebreaker answer.
Oh, fun.
Okay?
Oh, fun. This is
so Raquel's going to host it from digital. She's going to say 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to show your answers.
Okay.
There are 5 celebrities. Have fun. Keep the game moving, though. And then if there's a tiebreaker, she'll ask you the tiebreaker. You write down your number, and it's the closest. It's not Price is Right style. You can go over, okay?
Cool, cool.
Very thorough.
There's nothing worse than me saying ladies' night and then being like, are we on? Ladies' night, are we on?
Is anyone there?
Yeah, it's so awesome to have the girls out, you know what I mean? No one's making fun of anyone. Charlie's Angels, that's totally right, Charlie's Angels.
Oh,
So,
who would you want to be in the last Charlie's Angels? So there was like Lucy Liu, Drew Barrymore, and what's her name?
Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz. Who would you want to be?
I want to be Lucy Liu.
I love Lucy Liu.
I want to be Lucy
We
Liu.
all want to be.
Welcome back to DBL. The Duchess of York is spilling all her beauty secrets. She's had Botox injections and non-invasive facelifts. Check out all she's admitted to having done. So this got us thinking about other celebrities who have admitted to having work done. So we are going to play a little game. Have they come clean about going under the knife?
Oh boy.
Here's our host, Raquel.
Thank you, Erica. Well, ladies, the rules are simple. I'll show you a before and after photo of a celebrity who has been rumored to have plastic surgery. And all of you have to guess if they have admitted or denied having work done. So first up is Renee Zellweger.
Oh, it's not a good idea.
All right, ladies.
This is a trick question.
I know.
What do you think? I'm going to give you 3, 2, 1. Oh, there you go. The answer is actually Renee
I was going to say that was a trick
denied
question.
the rumor. You're right, Stephanie, is saying that it makes me sad. I don't look in beauty that way, so why would I suddenly try to fit into some mold that didn't belong to me?
But she looks nothing like her.
So it's kind of a trick question because at first she did deny it, and then
then she said the
eventually she
brow.
said she did. So
I mean,
trick question.
Right now, she's still saying she denied it, but here, let's try
She
this
said
other
she
celebrity.
did.
Up
Okay.
next is Courtney Cox.
Oh.
What do you think? I'll give you 3, 2,
I mean,
1.
I don't know, but
She's said it a lot and said she regrets it, I believe, Raquel.
Tori, you are correct.
Yes.
Courtney admitted to once having fillers, saying, I've had all my fillers dissolved. I think that I now look more like the person that I was. All right, up next is Kylie Jenner.
Oh, she
So what do
tried
you
to
think?
deny that
These
little
are
thing.
tricky because I feel like people say one thing and then they say something else.
She's gone
All
back
right,
and
look at
forth.
that. All of you are correct because the answer is Kylie has admitted it, saying, I have temporary lip fillers. It's just an insecurity of mine. It's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Well, what
Doing
about the
well so
rest of
far.
it?
All right, everyone is tied. Ladies' night, and we're all tied. So let's
Okay.
go up to Megan Fox. What do you think?
I think she's not said that she's got anything.
I think she's not said anything.
I think she's being foxy about it.
The answer is actually Megan denied the rumor, saying, I will say it for people who question the authenticity of my face. You can clearly see that my lips are my lips.
Lies.
All right,
mean?
are you ready for our
What about
final
your
celebrity?
Eyebrows.
All right, you'll have a chance to guess on this one. Tyra Banks. What do you think? All right, let's see your answers. All right, the answer is Tyra has confirmed going under the knife, saying, I admit it, fake hair, and I did have my nose. I feel I have the responsibility to tell the
Yes,
truth.
I remember this.
I'm glad she
And-
has a nose.
She does have a nose. Stephanie,
Yes.
good news for you. You are the winner.
I mean, let's be honest, we all know I'm a big fan of this particular topic, so I'm glad I got that one right.
think you're
the
particularly-
important things in life, you know?
Do you think you could tell when you're walking down the street, oh, work, work, not work?
Yeah, I think I'm really good at guessing.
Are you?
Yeah, I think I know. I think a few people that we know have had things as secrets. No one here.
On that note, coming up
here.
on DBL,
No one here.
girls get wild during Leanne's bachelorette party on the Real Housewives of Dallas. Reality Roundup is next.
Nation, it's Raquel here, and right now it's time for Fast Blast, where I give you all the trending news you need to know in under 2 minutes. So let's get that timer up and get started. Right now, all eyes are on Greta Thunberg. The 16-year-old climate activist is a Nobel Peace Prize frontrunner. If she wins, she'll be the youngest ever to hold that title. It was previously held by Malala Yousafzai in 2014. Greta will find out tomorrow if she won. And listen up, pet owners, Uber is offering a new feature just for you. Starting next week, Uber Pet will be available in lots of major cities, which makes getting to the vet a lot easier if you don't have a car. A few dollars will be added to the ride, but my real question is this offered in an Uber pool option? Because I would love to open the door and just have a golden retriever just come right at me. Dream come true. And Captain Marvel is showing up in real life too. Brie Larson is campaigning to have an all-female Marvel movie. She says other cast members are open to it and want to make it happen. Brie hopes if it gets enough attention, it'll be made. And I've got to say, I am all here for it. Sign me up for those pre-sale tickets because Captain Marvel made over $1 billion at the box office. So this could be the highest grossing movie of all time. Calling it right here, right now. And we know Flaming Hot Cheetos are dangerously cheesy, but it turns out it's enough to get stopped by TSA. Emily Gould says she was stopped at the airport because she was packing too many Cheetos. Agents inspected all 20 bags she was carrying. Now, yes, I could probably eat all of those in a day, but Emily said she was traveling overseas and was bringing them as gifts because the world needs to experience Flaming Hot Cheetos. That's it for today's Fast Blast. See you next time.
Welcome back to DBL. Every Thursday, we obsess over reality TV. Earlier, my co-host Sam Shocker and Tori joined me for Reality Roundup. Enjoy.
First up, on The Real Housewives of the OC, Gina's blind date was canceled last minute. Why? Well, the drama came when she learned Emily set her up with a guy who was already in a relationship. I would die. Check it out.
He tells her that he has a girlfriend. Why would he agree to go on a date?
Exactly. And he's like, oh, well, Emily and Shane knew that. I was humiliated.
So like a pity date. And then I called her 6 times.
I'm not even picking up because I don't want to hear her excuse her way out of this.
Well, okay, here's the thing. First of all, Emily was on Watch What Happens Live and swears that she did not know that Shane's cousin, who was the guy that she was trying to hook her up with, had a girlfriend.
Was in a relationship. Yes.
However, I do think that Gina should be counting her lucky stars because Shane, who is like the worst of the worst, she doesn't want to get involved with his cousin, especially when her best friend and Shane aren't doing well.
Right.
Then she's involved in the relationship,
and not only that, Erica, what do they say? Birds of the same feather
flock together.
Yes. Okay, that's all we got to say. Next up on The Real Housewives of Dallas, the ladies have some fun with gifts at Leanne's bachelorette party. Ooh, enjoy.
Oh, I love it! This is from Stephanie.
Yes!
Oh my God.
So cute. I don't know if the underwear is sexy or creepy, but it is real funny.
Is that somebody's face?
I can't see if those are moons or someone's face or skulls. What did you think about that bachelorette party, Tori? Did it mirror yours?
It did. I had a very generic basic, and I went to where you worked, the Saddle Ranch, and I literally rode a mechanical bull because I'm the most basic human being on earth. But now people are like, Palm Springs for the weekend.
Oh, I just got an update. You might like this. Beyonce's face. Oh, Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce, not Beyonce.
I was like, that didn't look like Beyonce.
That was her Beyonce's face.
Yeah, I was like, that trademark issue would have been horrid. Yes.
Okay, and Tori cannot wait to break down the latest fight on MTV's The Challenge. Why do they always fight?
Because they do.
Check it out.
They do.
We have to shoot him again. Just stop.
Tori immediately jumps in, and that's my baby. She a ride or die. She in there. She gonna die with the man.
Nice. Real nice, Turbo.
That's about all he kicks.
Stop, Jordan. Just drop it.
So update on those two are now engaged, and they're really a good couple, and she did try to back him up. But Jordan is constantly yelling at people, and you don't mess with a man named Turbo. Now, Turbo is in the Israeli army. I mean, he really is like a superstar. And so when they got into a fight, I was like, it's going down.
Let me ask you this. Why do they seem to fight every single week? Why do they all seem to be like jacked up on like PCP? Like, what's wrong with them? Why is everybody so angry?
I think because they're on this long journey. They don't have a lot to
Look how angry they all are.
I know. Oh, I know. When you're Turbo, you got a lot of anger pent up. But actually, Turbo's one of the nicest people out there. So, Jordan, that's on you for doing that.
Too much for me, Erica. I'll stick with the housewives.
Yeah, where they just throw drinks on each other.
Yeah, and flip tables.
Much more my speed. This has been Reality Roundup. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Budgetologist Felicia Jones is back in the studio. Saving money is all about setting a budget. So how do you create a budget you can actually stick to? We're sharing tips on today's Dollars and Cents presented by John Hancock. So Felicia, how important is it to create a budget?
Actually, it's so important to be on a budget because that's how you save your money and, do fun things with your money. So one of the cool things is that more than 50% of Americans actually utilize a budget, but we can always be more efficient. So here are a couple of tips that you can use so that you can, be on a better budget. So first is set a money management day. I like to use the 1st and 15th day of each month to set 1 hour before 6 p.m. to look at all of your finances. And I say before 6 p.m. because usually afterwards we're grumpy or hungry. Or hungry.
Or hangry.
Yeah, or hangry, yeah.
There's the word.
So make sure we're going to do this the 1st and 15th day of each month.
Okay.
And 1 hour before 6 p.m. and look at all of your finances. The next thing you want to do is constantly compare your expenses to income. If you're spending more than what you're making, that's usually a red flag.
That's not good numbers.
No, it's not good numbers. So what we're going to do is document all of the expenses and income, every last dime that's going out. We want to make sure we know where it is going. And then we're going to make corrections and cuts because this will set us up to budget for the next month. You're always looking at the next month when it comes to your budget. Yeah, so we got to make sure we stay on top of that. And then finally, be realistic. A lot of us are on budgets, but we sometimes forget about the budget when fun things come, like going on vacation. So I would just say be realistic with what you're actually doing, document everything, but make sure you set goals to pay off debt if you do have debt, and get the family involved. Sometimes it does take a village to manage your money.
Yeah, I like it. I do this with my wife at home. We do manage our money. We do have a budget. There are credit cards and apps now that actually help you, and they separate everything almost like a pie chart. They put it into, which makes it a lot easier to.
Yeah, use all the tools that are out there, but you got to make sure that you are staying on top of this every month.
All right, this is so important for people to understand, me and my family included. Thank you so much again, Felicia, for being here. To submit your financial questions for the next Dollars and Cents, please email askmrsjones@dailyblastlive.com. And for info about life insurance and retirement planning, call John Hancock at 1-800-978-0663. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Taylor Swift is ruining marriages.
No.
Well, maybe not. You're right, Tor. But one couple's relationship is strained because the wife keeps playing the same 2 or 3 Taylor Swift songs on repeat. We don't know which ones those are, but let's hear a few. They are catchy.
They're so catchy. And I have to be honest, I do this, as you know, in my house.
You play the same song.
And I'll do this. Hey Siri, play again. Hey Siri, play again.
What song?
Lover.
Hey, that's my Siri.
Oh, did it? I'm so sorry. Oh man, that's really embarrassing. So don't play Taylor Swift.
It's playing a girl.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's explicit. Hold on.
Oh yeah, we don't want to pay for that. Get that off there. But like Brooks has such good music taste, and I have very bad music taste, and I just want to hear the same song until it burns out.
Oh no, I couldn't. You would drive me mad. I couldn't live with that.
Yeah.
I had a roommate in college, and she used to play the same song over and over every time her and her boyfriend broke up.
Oh God.
And it was Amel LaRue, "Make Me Whole." It was actually a beautiful song. It was my first dance for my first wedding.
Is that the one that my parents stole your second wedding song?
Oh yeah.
That's a whole
so her
story.
parents, so Steph's parents were in town from England, and they came over for dinner on a Friday night, and it was probably one of the best nights. Anyway, we end up dancing in the kitchen.
Erica and Anthony were slow dancing to their wedding song, which my parents then accommodated and decided it was their song.
They just absorbed it.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
a really good
and I was just
song.
sat there drinking my wine thinking, am I in some kind of weird sitcom here? Because this is very strange.
It's like a weird dream.
It was pretty amazing. We were kind of in a sitcom. Okay, we will be back same time, same place tomorrow. Thank you for joining us, Tori.
Thank you. I always enjoy accents.
Good night.